Hi guys, this is your girl Wakeji Kamore and welcome to Reflections by Wakeji Kamore. Happy new month. Happy new my birthday month. This is my birthday. May is my birthday month. So, mi ndakuwa tu nawaambia happy birthday month, happy birthday month. Mi mkae tu mkijua niko birthday month. So happy new month. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on the time that you listen to this. I hope and I pray that May will surprise you, that it will just be like a ray of sunshine in your life, that will just bring a lot of freshness in your life. It will bring a lot of blessings in your life and a lot of favor in your life. May it extend from God to us, from God to this birthday girl and to all of us, So we are still continuing with the book of Psalms, and we are in the book of Psalms chapter 58. If you haven't read this chapter, you know the drill. Pause and read the chapter for yourself so that the Holy Spirit can speak to you, because there are things the Lord wants to tell you personally. All right, so if you have done that, I'm going to be reading this chapter word for word from the English Standard Version, and then I'm going to give you a summary of what's happening in the chapter, and I'm going to give you the lessons that I've picked up from the chapter. Tuko tayari? All right, let's do that. So the title of this chapter is God Who Judges the Earth. It's written to the choir master according to Do Not Destroy, a Miktam of David. Again, this just means that David wrote this psalm. He wrote it and it was supposed to be handed over to the choir master so that he can lead worship or he can lead praise with it in the temple in the tune of Do Not Destroy, which is a song that we do not know. So don't crack your brain trying to figure it out. All right, this is what it says. Do you indeed decree what is right, you gods? Gods with very small g. Do you judge the children of man uprightly? No, in your hearts you devise wrongs. Your hands deal out violence on earth. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray from birth, speaking lies. They have venom like the venom of a serpent, like the deaf adder that stops its ear, so that it does not hear the voice of the charmers or of the cunning enchanter. O God, break the teeth in their mouths. Tear off the fangs of the young lions, O Lord. Let them vanish like water that runs away. When he aims his arrows, let them be blunted. Let them be like the snail that dissolves into slime, like a stillborn child who never sees the sun. Sooner than your pots can feel the heat of thorns. Whether green or ablaze, may he sweep them away. The righteous will rejoice when he sees the vengeance. He will bathe his feet in the blood of the wicked. Mankind will say, surely there is a reward for the righteous. Surely there is a God who judges on earth. All right? So Psalms chapter 58 is an imprecatory psalm. Imprecatory psalm is a psalm where David or whoever is writing the psalm is basically praying that the Lord would come and punish those people that are wrong. And we see that David in this chapter rebukes the wicked rulers of the people who pervert justice and oppress others. After describing these men, David unleashes a series of curses against them, and we can see that David wasn't going to personally harm these men, but this called on God to deliver judgment to them. It begins with a few accusatory questions directed to these people who are responsible for upholding justice. He asks them, do you indeed decree what is right, you gods? Do you judge the children of man uprightly? These men were the representative judges of God. They were supposed to be upholding his law and judging righteously. In a sense, as judges, they were in the place of God. But David accused them of doing the opposite. In their hearts, they devised wrong, and with their hands, they created violence on earth. And I mean, we've seen that happening. There are people who just will sign a document like this, and that document will create a lot of violence in the earth, which is something that we've seen happening many, many times over. So he continues to say that David was extremely angry with these individuals because they were abusing their authority and they were perverting justice. He did not hold back his condemnation of them. He described them as venomous snakes, and he unleashed a curse of series against them. And David was, again, not personally going to do anything about it, but he called God to just deliver the judgment to them. But then David ended the psalm by saying that the righteous men will rejoice when they bathe their feet in the blood of the wicked, and they shall say that there's a God on earth who judges. And basically the wicked will be destroyed and the righteous will be saved and they will be rewarded. And so there's a reward for those that are righteous because there's a God who judges on earth. This psalm is a reminder that God has a role as the ultimate judge who will punish the wicked and reward the righteous. This is a reminder that injustice will not have a final word, and God will ultimately vindicate his people. Sometimes we are living in this world where we feel like wicked people are always winning, evil is always winning. But this is a reminder that injustice, it will not have the final word. God will ultimately vindicate his people. But most importantly, it is a reminder for us to live with an eternal perspective. Understanding that God's justice will ultimately prevail and that our actions today will have consequences in the internal realm. So we are being reminded, number one, that evil will not prevail, that God will judge and the righteous will be rewarded. It is also a reminder that God is the judge and God will punish the wicked and, of course, reward the righteous. It's also a reminder that we should live with an eternal perspective, understanding that God's justice will ultimately prevail and that whatever it is that we do today will affect and will have consequences in the internal realms. Thank you so much for listening and see you tomorrow.